The hour of need is now. With the surge of chaos activity across the galaxy in the wake of the Great Rift's birth, and the threat of eternal damnation more real than ever, the Adeptus Custodes have taken their vow of protection to its logical extreme. They will see the destruction of those forces who pose a threat to the sanctity of Terra. Valengari 10 is their next destination, but it has already been cleansed by another. For the greater good is the mantra of the Tau, and they will defend their newly liberated world with the full might of the Fire Cast.
Hi there everyone, Chris from 6++ here, and today I'm joined by Jamie as we take you through this 2000 point Strike Force battle set on the wasteland of Valengari 10.
Hi there everyone, pleasure to be here.
The Tau and Custodes are sitting pretty at the top of the meta currently, with some quite absurd win rates. We're going to put our two top tier forces into each other in preparation for an upcoming team tournament and see who will triumph. Thoughts on the matchup, Jamie?
Well, I've not had too much success into your Custodes recently, Chris, so I've gone away and developed a list to make me much better into the Golden Void. It's time to see if it's worked.
Absolutely. Tau always set my nerves on edge, so we'll see if they can get the better of the mighty Custodes today. Let's take a look at the lists. The Custodes are obviously performing extremely well in the meta at the moment. Their durability comes from the 2-up armour and the 4-up invulnerable, alongside access to some phenomenal strats that are also very cheap. Being able to turn off rerolls and transhuman for 1 CP on powerful units is incredibly efficient. Today the list is Emperor's Chosen, as this gives the army a 4-up Feel No Pain against mortal wounds, a hit or wound reroll, and the ability to change into other shield hosts with a stratagem. With so few models, the characters of the Custodes need to pull their weight. Trajan is far too cheap at the moment. He is an extremely durable and hard hitting character and can also regen CP, all for 160 points. The Bike Captain gives a mobile individual threat, and the Inquisitor is there for access to the Psychic Interrogation Secondary. The real hitting power though of the list comes from the 3 units of 3 bikes. These are being seen in nearly every list at the moment, and for good reason. Their salvo launchers ruin any vehicle's day, and they get +1 to wound on the charge. Everything else in the list is designed to play the mission. There are backfield objective sitting units, and the Wardens help to allow characters to sit on the objectives freely. The big thing I'm testing today is the unit of 5 Shield Guard. In reality, it's a toss-up between 5 Sword and Borden and Alaris versus 2 Dreadnoughts. I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out today. What's looking key in your list today, Jamie?
The modus operandi of the current top tier Tau list blends together brutal and somewhat oppressive shooting phase and generally very strong secondary objective game. This list is no different to that and hopes to power through the Custodes' stoic defences while putting up a sizable score through favourable secondary objectives. Today I'll be running a Farsight Enclaves Allied World list, which allows me access to the Sept Tenet and stratagem of the Farsight Enclaves while disallowing Commander Farsight himself, the double commanders in a single detachment, and the Sept specific Warlord trait and relic. However, running a Farsight Enclaves Allied World does allow me to run an Ethereal, which would otherwise be unavailable to an Enclaves army. Anchoring the list today, I have a squad of broadsides who have the firepower to take down all but the sturdiest foes. They have the Jack of all trades loadout with their Strength 9 heavy rail rifles, and the squad of 3 put out an eye-watering 24 ignoring line of sight and light cover shots. When these guys hit, they hit hard, which brings me on to their support. This comes in the form of no less than O Shazera, Commander Shadowsun herself. She will provide full rerolls to a unit within 6 inches, as well as offering a veritable suite of weapons herself. A large part of the success of these lists are the auxiliaries available to the Tau Empire. I have 2 squads of Kroot Hounds that offer early screening potential. 2 squads of Kroot Carnivores also offer great early pressure on objectives, in addition to great secondary support. A squad of Vespid Stingwings will also likely be starting the game in deep strike support, ready to drop down to retrieve data or put pressure on backfield objective holders. Finally, we have a stealth team who can disappear off the board with the Wall of Mirrors stratagem and return within 9 inches of any board edge the following turn. This provides incredible utility throughout the game. These are also equipped with a homing beacon which enables them to bring a unit out of deep strike turn 1 if this list is put under early pressure. That brings us on to the final part of the list, and that is the mobile firebase that is the Crisis Battlesuit. This includes no less than 15 of them in total, 2 squads of 5 offering brutal firepower, one in the form of mass indirect fire and the other toting plasma and ion for clearing out those more elite squads. Finally, we have 2 smaller squads of Crisis Bodyguard to offer character protection and more pinpoint firepower.
Sounds pretty terrifying. Today we are running Tide of Conviction, one of the more interesting objective layouts. In this match, players will score 4 points for holding 2 objectives, 8 points for holding 3 objectives, and 12 points for holding more than their opponent. On top of this, players can also score 2 points for holding an objective in the opponent's territory at the end of their turn. Secondaries always shape up how the game is played, so what have you gone for today, Jamie?
Well, today, Chris, I've gone for To the Last, which is my broadsides and 2 crisis bombs. I've also chosen Decisive Action, which means that I need to hold 3 objectives for 3 turns to score a maximum of 12, hoping for this to be a guaranteed 12 here. Finally, I've gone for R&D, Retrieve Knackman Data, which is one I've built into the list.
That's great. I've gone for Raise the Banners, which will hopefully be an easy 10 at least. I've also chosen No Prisoners, as Jamie gives up quite a few points there. And finally, Psychic Interrogation, as Jamie's characters will be reasonably close to me, and of course he has no psychic defense. It's now time to head down to the battlefield and check out the deployment of the armies, but before we do so, if you are enjoying the content, please do give us a like and a subscribe, as it really does help. Here we are, ready to rumble. The Custodes have deployed in a truly heroic fashion. As you can see, we have set ourselves up as hidden as can be. In the middle here we've got bikes, 5 shield guys and the sisters and the Inquisitor, and they're looking to control these 2 objectives and potentially move up here, as that's a good jumping point. Over here we have got 3 bikes, 3 Sagittarium and the Shield Captain. The Shield Captain's here because I want to give some reroll 1s around. The Sagittarium are going to help to screen and then push forward later. And 3 bikes again can move into either of these 2 ruins. Jumping over to the far right hand side, we've got some more bikes. We've got Trajan and the Wardens for the bodyguard, because that's going to be really powerful at meaning I can just hold this objective all day long. Then the bikes can strike forward here. So I've tried to give myself some jump points, because obviously that's going to be really important moving into the Tau. And Jamie, what have you done?
So on the far left hand side here, we've got our broadsides. Hopefully got enough range here to attack on Chris's right flank. Moving across, we've got Shadow Sun. She's got a free redeployer, so she'll be able to move either left or right to give her buffs out to the crisis suits or broadsides. Crew in the middle here, pre-game move, hopefully to move on to the centre objective or just tuck in depending on who gets our first turn. 2 bodyguards here, just give them character protection. Big squad of AFP crisis suits just to hopefully plink some wounds off some guys in the centre. We have some Croot Hounds being super brave here, or foolish, with their pre-game moves, hopefully jumping forward to take Chris' objective just to stop some Raise the Banners. If not, they're within pre-game move here to hide. Some Croot for some early objective control. Stealth suits sit in, so hopefully they can retrieve some data and then jump off the board in the following turn.
And we've got all this fun stuff in Deep Strike as well. So, with that all said and done, it's time for the first roll-off. It's showtime. Jamie, would you like to go first or second?
I think second helps on this mission with holding the opponent's objective at the end of the game, but if I go first I can hopefully plink some wounds off, so I think I'm easy either way.
That's what I've heard. So, let's go. Jamie, as you are the guest, with the nasty black evil dice, what do you roll?
A 1.
A 1. And the Custodes with heroic green dice roll a 6, because we are of course 6++. It is redeploys and movement phase of the Custodes coming up next. Right then, we have completed our redeploys, pre-game moves and the Custodian movement phase. Jamie, what did you do, you cheeky boy?
So the crew just came and hid a bit in the middle just to stop giving easy targets for the Sags. These Crew Hounds just moved up partially to block Shadow Sun being closest enemy with an advance here, and also just to give Chris some awkward decisions on charging. These Crews over this side were stood out in the middle hoping to get first turn and jump on an objective, but instead just pre-game move to hide behind that line of sight obscuring terrain.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of my movement phase, quite a lot of thought has gone into this. So we've got the wardens here. They're screening out the back, but they're also bodyguarding Trajan, who's raised a banner there. The Sags have moved across to the edge here to shoot into the Croot Hounds, because why not? I doubt they're going to get shot at anytime soon. The bikes here, you can see one's just hidden in there as well, hiding here. I did think about charging into the Croot Hounds and then using the 6-inch consolidate to get around this corner and tagging the broadsides. But Jamie was like, yeah, well, I could just fall the broadsides back and shoot with all of that. And it sounded pretty nasty, so I decided not to. Over here, you can see it's a bit of a ball of death. Can't get in range for psychic interrogation, but we will hopefully be able to next turn. So I've decided just to put 6 bikes behind here. I was trying to put 3 in here, but with the stealth suits over in that corner, able to bring in a bomb into this area, that was probably going to hurt a lot. So I've kind of gone here instead. Still a pretty decent launch pad. We'll see where Jamie moves to next turn, which led the sisters here on their own. Now I don't want to get them picked off the objective, so the shield captain has come here to stand as well, and he may still choose to pick them off. We will wait and see. Only shooting is the Sagittarium into the Croot Hound. We will do that, and then as you can see, I've raised 3 banners. I'm not going to psychic interrogate, and I'll have 3 or 4 no prisoner points, but nothing too exciting. So we will now, well, in a little while anyway, move into Tau movement phase after this super quick turn. As you can see, the Tau movement phase is complete. You'll also see that the Croot Hound did die. I had to do a CP reroll, but it was worth it in the long run, just to stop that irritants. So Jamie, you have done Tau things. What have you done?
So this side of the board, minimal movement at the back here. We've got stealth suits that are researching Nachman data. Squad of Croot here doing very little. These Croot Hounds just moved up to move block this sort of mess over here. There's no way of
like 14 inches, aren't they, from the bikes?
Yeah, so just over 14 inches away. In the command phase, Shadow Sun gave broadsides here full rerolls to hit. This commander gave the crisis suits ignore all hit modifiers. So they've moved up, are going to ignore the dense cover in the middle, hopefully shoot away some shield guard. The
then
broadside,
fire and fade.
Yeah, and then there'll be fire and fade in the shooting phase behind the Croot screen, and these broadsides hopefully whittle down these bikes over here. I've moved my characters back 30 inches away from the Inquisitor, just to hopefully be another turn away from being interrogated. So yeah,
fun for everyone. So now apparently Tau are quite good at shooting. Are you going to do your shooting phase?
Yeah.
You are?
yeah, I won't be skipping that one. I'll skip the psychic, just for you.
Just for me. Well, you know, we like to keep our viewers engaged. Excellent. We'll come back with the shooting phase next. Into the Tau shooting phase we go, and these guys, because they are fire and fading, they have to fire first, and they have put a lot of firepower into here. Now they are set in cover, so we are on 2-up saves, but I have 22 2-up saves to make. So here we go. Looking good so far. And finally, cool, so there we go. 1 noble hero of the Imperium dead, and 1 took a wound, who doesn't love a 2-up. And then Shadow Sun managed to kill another noble hero with a lucky missile strike. And now we're into the fun stuff with the broadsides. We're going into these 2 bikes. They are transhumaned. There are no rerolls allowed. One of them's hitting on 3s, 2 of them are hitting on 4s. Take it away, here come the big guns.
Black one's hitting on 3s.
Great hit roll, so here we are. 4s to wound. 2 for weapon vulnerables. 2 for up for no pains. Not the most brutal of Tau shooting phases that have existed. Another Sag did die, well I say another, 1 Sag did die from the SMS. Jamie, are you happy with the turn?
Yeah, happy. I've killed a couple of models, and keep that up. After 11 turns, we'll be there.
Yeah, exactly. That's because I've got such a small force. Obviously, the rails didn't really spike the right direction, so now it's a matter of, can these 2 bikes go and cause mayhem? Can those bikes over there? Did you score any points this turn?
Yeah, I killed decisive action. I didn't get the mission secondary. I started my retrieve, and currently my to the last are all still alive.
Excellent. Well, sounds like it's not going too badly then. We'll see what a wave of bikes can do to change your opinion on that as we move into the Custodes turn next. Alright, Custodes turn 2 movement phase is complete. Lots of thinking. Too much thinking, in fact, too many options, so I've been trying to second guess myself. Obviously this is an important turn because I'm going to have to come out into the open and we'll and to see what I can hurt. So in terms of the game plan, Trajan and the Wardens have stayed here. Sagittarium have moved forward to shoot down there. These 2 boys, I mean there's only 2 of them, they're going to try and kill Shadow Sun just to turn off some of the rerolls and then go tag happy, get shot by everything and die, but you know, hey, that's fine, they're going to die, but it's just 2 models dying. The Shield Captain on bike is pushed forward to have a 7-inch charge into the crew, I think. Here, the Shield Guard have moved forward just to get some of their shooting in range. The bikes, I did not know what to do with here. I've really struggled to think. I want their shooting. I'll try and put the 6 shots into the Crisis and see how that goes. I've put these 3 bikes here so that they can charge into the crew and kill them, but then just kind of move around and screen into that corner there, just to really push the deep striking stuff back. And then finally these Sagittarium are here. We got it wrong, obviously we forgot that you can advance and psychic action, so therefore wherever Jamie put his guys was probably going to be out of reach. So that does mean he's bundled together his guys in that corner, which isn't ideal for Jamie. But he won't take it back, so he's too proud.
Proud Mary.
So Psychic is interrogation, obviously goes up on a 4, but it's a 5 because of the sisters. And that's a 9, you have been interrogated. Now we're going to move into the shooting phase. Shooting phase has been underway and the SAGs have managed to pick up the drones, which is quite handy because it means the big guns can now go into those crises and hopefully do some damage. So we start off with these 3 guys into the crisis suits. So we are hitting on 3s because we're going through dents. Going to use my reroll. No, 2 hits. Wounding on 3s, no rerolls. You have got 2 dead crisis suits. It's now the turn of these 3. They are not going through dents, so it's 2s. There's 2 1s there. I'll use my reroll. Okay. And then it's 3s. And I am going to CP reroll that. Cool, so that's 2 more dead crisis suits. That leaves 1 for the commander to try and pick up. So hitting on a 2, it hits. Wounding on a 3, it went off the table, but you can see it is a 4. So that is...
6 up save. Oh.
He's got 6 up save. It's coming in from afar. It was a 2. So that is the unit of crisis suits over there. Dead. Shooting phase is going super well. Let's see if these 2 can finish off, and they're going to go in over there. So, hitting on 2s. 2 2s, that's always good. And then wounding or killing on 3s. That's 2 2s. So I'm going to reroll 1 with Emperor's blah blah. So 1 dies like the hero that he is. And that is all of the shoe stings done. I guess that's pretty efficient. Charge phase up next. The Shield Captain is lining up the recruit as we head into the charge phase. He needs a 7. I will be CP rerolling this if it doesn't work. I've rolled an 8, he is in. Over here the plan is those bikes charge into Shadow Sun and then they're going to tag the broadsides. They need a 1.1. Oh, they made it. These bikes are just going to charge into these recruits here. And they are also inevitably in. Fight phase is going according to plan so far. Over here, the shield captain was able to take out the 10 crew, hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s, wounding on 2s, rerolling 1s, extra attacks, all the fun stuff. Meant all 10 died. Super efficient over there. The crew house died, but we're over to the big fight here. I've spent a CP. We are got an extra attack, so it's 5 attacks each because we've lost a model. The plan is they're just going to fight into Shadow Sun and their position so that they can consolidate into the broadsides over there. Okay, so are you ready, Jamie?
Ready as I'll ever be.
I am out of 6 inches of the shield captain just through lazy placement. So 10 attacks hitting on 2s. Emperor's Chosen reroll. Wounding on 2s with the +1. 2 Misericordia attacks. Wounding on 4s. Right, 2 Misericordia attacks. I've got through a 9 normals, but Shadow Sun's got a few cheeky ways of surviving this. So, Jamie, what are you doing?
So the first one will be killing off the Extend Aura's drone.
Yep.
Don't worry about that. And then I'll be taking 4-up invols on the other drone. Then when one fails, I can spend a CP for Saviour Protocols, kill off another drone from the Ethereal, and then we'll go back to making saves on this drone and then Shadow Sun afterwards.
Excellent. So 4-up invulnerables. Time to shine, Jamie.
No.
No.
So we'll spend a CP now and kill off a drone from the Ethereal.
Jamie will make a 4-up save this turn. Come on.
He won't. There you go. That's 8 from 8 failed. This drone did. And then, yeah, we've just got saves on Shadow Sun now. Made some. 2 failed.
2 fails, 2 damage each, so you take 4.
Take 4, down to 3.
Ah, so there we are. See, that's where the 4-up invuns were. They'll then tag into the broadsides. There'll be some slapping backs, and then I'll come back with a turn recap afterwards. Who knew that broadsides slap? They got through 3 wounds and all saves were failed. Ah, embarrassing. That's the end of the Custodes turn 2. Did everything I set out to. You feel like this is make or break time now for the Farsight Enclave allied folk, because we've got this bike captain sat here pretty on an objective. He's going to take some shifting. We've got some bikes, dudes over there, bikes here. The broadsides are obviously going to try and finish them off. It's what can the deep striking Farsight guys do. Managed to take away Jamie's primary as well. So good turn for the Custodes. Let's see what they have coming at us. It is make or break time for the Tau. Jamie's got a plan. If it comes to fruition, then the Custodes are going to be really on the back foot here. Maybe they have overextended. It is something they like to do when commanded by Chris. So let's see. What's the plan, sir?
So initially, command phase, Shadow Sun gave Chapter Master to the broadsides. Ethereal gave Exemplar of the Mont card to the broadsides to full rerolls to wound within 12 inches. And then they moved up behind the terrain. The crew moved up to hold this objective. The commanders moved up hoping to get a cheeky charge off on the shield captain to hold my 3 objectives at the end of the turn. At the end, and also the stealth suits jumped off with Wall of Mirrors to come in next turn. The Ethereal gave the broadsides the do an action and shoot without the action failing, so they'll be retrieving Nakmund, hopefully, as well as killing these bikes. And then, in the reinforcement step, these crises came in, hoping to kill these 2 Sagittarium to try and shore up my corner. These crises came in with drop zone clear for 3 CP to get 4 rerolls to hit and wound on the turn they came in. So hoping to get a big damage turn. Very much a make or break turn, so we'll see what happens in the shooting phase. I'm
already regretting my bikes being so far back, but they were there to shore up my backfield. So, right, we're now going to go into the shooting phase and we'll see what damage he can do. There is a smouldering wreck where those Sagittarium used to be. I was confident until the burst cannon started firing, and now it is time for Commander and Shield Captain action. So, what is firing first, sir?
We have 2 plasmas Hitting on 2s. Wounding on 3s, re-rolling due to precision of the hunter. 2 wounds at -5 because you're within 12.
And
3
how much
damage each.
3 damage each. Okay. 4 up, 4 up. Cool, excellent. So that's 6 damage he's taken so far. CP reroll.
Missile pod, 2 hits. Wounding on 3s, re-rolling. No, just 1 wound at -3, 2 damage.
4 up in one. Failed it.
D6 +2 from the thermoneutronic projector. So that's 6 shots. Hitting on 2s, re-rolling. And wounding on 5s, re-rolling. It'll be 4 wounds at -3 for 2.
4 up invulnerables.
Oh, that'll be none.
This hero of the Imperium actually deserves to die after this saving, so 13 feel no pains. He is very, very dead, which is sad because I thought he would be absolutely fine. But in other news, it does mean that he can't now charge and get onto the objective for decisive action. So, hey ho, I guess your death was slightly not in vain, you waste of space. Right, rest of the shooting phase has been done, and mixed fortunes. And when I say mixed, not really that mixed. These guys got absolutely obliterated. I then turned off rerolls and transhuman, and as you can see, there's still 2 bikes there. My rolling was good, Jamie's rolling was atrocious. And that is not particularly ideal because 2 bites can cause a lot of havoc now. No charges to declare?
No.
How are you feeling, sir?
I think at the start I'd have probably settled for the amount I killed. Not necessarily in the right order. This guy would rather have died in combat, so I could claim that's cost me 4 on decisive action there.
Yep.
Which is a bit of a bummer, but we'll hopefully come back. We started to get a bit more board presence now than what we had last turn.
Absolutely, absolutely. Cool, so we're now going to move into Custodes, turn 3. Custodes, turn 3 movement phase is complete. We're doing a mix of hyper aggression and super defensive here. So these bikes have been a problem all game. What am I going to do with them? Well, they're sat here hiding because we've got a good points lead and we're going to try and make the most of it. These shield guys have pulled back here behind the wall at line of sight, as has the Inquisitor, who has mentally interrogated the Ethereal. Over here, Trajan's flexing his muscles with some wardens. They're going to deal with these naughty boys. And over here, finally, the unkillable white bikes have launched themselves over here. So they're going to hopefully melter the Ethereal, and then they're going to charge into the Crisis. And then hopefully that's enough damage that Jamie just doesn't have the tools left to kind of deal with me and push out. He lost his decisive action, which obviously really hurt. He's going to be scoring a 4 on primary again. So we're in a good place in terms of points. So let's go do some shooting. Sagittarium lining up the boys over here. 9 shots hitting on 2s. Winning on 4s.
Yeah, so rolling 1 at a time for the guy with Iridium armor on a 3-up save. And he dies, and then 4-up saves for the others. Oh, another one dies.
Your powers are weak, old man. Time to remove those rerolls. Hitting on 2s. Emperor's Chosen reroll. Winning on 2s. The drones are dead after 1 CP spent to knock them off. So now I have some interesting choices for my charges. The Imperium's finest is ready to lay the smack down. 6 attacks hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s to hit because that's what he does. Reroll. 2s to wound with a reroll if I want it. Emperor's Chosen reroll.
And I'll take them 3 at a time for the guys on 6-up saves. No, so they're both dead. And then 5-up saves on the last guy. He's dead also.
This time, they're going to die. 4 attacks into the ethereal, hitting on 2s. Wounding on 2s. Ethereal dead. 6 attacks into the bodyguard. Reroll 1s for Emperor's Chosen. Wounding on 2s. Only 3 go through. 6 ups.
6 up saves. He's dead.
And the objective is ours, boys. So that's the turn over. You will notice a slight issue. And in the history of Warhammer, this is the first ever coherency check to be failed on a battle report. So congratulations, Jamie. Obviously this came about because the Iridium guy who had all the buff stuff was in the middle, and it just kind of ruined the coherency. So bit of a nightmare. They're dead. The morale phase comes before the coherency check though, we've just found out, so it doesn't have to take a morale. So there are still guys there. That's why I didn't charge in there, because I was like, well, the shield drone and the other guy's dead anyway. So that's the end of my turn. I think I'm in a reasonable shape, even if Jamie manages to start blasting through things now. I should just have enough of a points lead. But we will play through turn 3 and see where we lie. Tau movement phase for turn 3 is complete. What is the game-winning strategic mastermind plan, sir?
We're just going to try to kill some stuff.
That's the Tau way, that's what I've heard.
We're going to kill enough to make him work hard for his win.
Good.
So, crew in this corner have not moved, they're still sitting on this objective.
Yep.
These guys have just moved up enough to get in range of the SAGs. They still can see these guys, so they can shoot in there if need be. Shadow Sun has moved on to this objective just to hold it when these guys inevitably don't die. These guys have yet to move. They're within SMS range of the Wardens. Heavy rail rifles this way. And we moved our commander up to shoot into the Wardens and then hopefully fire and fade back behind line of sight to stop us getting shot with salvo launchers.
Cheeky.
We then have a couple of reinforcements coming in. The stealths in the far corner to do some retrieve Nachman data. And some Vespid in here to throw a bit more firepower towards the Wardens. Just unprotect Trajan Valores.
Fun. Okay, well, I guess we'll come back for some shooting. Okay, so this commander did 2 wounds to our Warden in total. I turned off rerolls and transhumans because I want the Wardens to stay alive this turn. Unfortunately, that means that these guys will die, and I just, again, it's probably not worth the CP. So off you go, Jamie. Fire your broadsides.
Shadow Sun.
Oh, Shadow Sun is first, sorry. Off you go.
So 2 fusion blasters, hitting on 2s.
Yep.
Wounded on 3s. 1 wound.
1 4 up invulnerable. Failed it.
D6 plus 2. That'll be 4.
One's got 1 wound left.
And missiles. Hits on 2s. Wounds on 3s. 2 at -2 for 1 damage.
2 4-ups. Both failed. 1 bite dead. 1 on 4 wounds. Can the broadsides do it? Let's find out.
So heavy rail rifles. Full rerolls from Shadow Sun.
They're fully loaded.
Great. 3s. Good job, guys.
1 4-up invulnerable. Made it.
1 mortal wound.
1 more wound. 4 up for no pain. Failed it. He's got 3 wounds left. Cool. Well, that was pretty appalling. Let's see if the SMS, he's just dropping dice over, can do any better. 1 billion SMS shots. Hitting on 4s.
And 4s.
6 3-ups. That's a dead Warden and 1 on 1 wound. These guys are going to have to do what the broadsides failed to do into here, but they're also splitting fire, so they're also going into the Sagittarium as well. What's first, Jamie?
4 plasma shots into the Vert's Praetor. Hitting on 4s. Good job, guys. I will spend a CP to reroll 1.
2 hits.
Wounded on 3s, rerolling 1s for Monka. Great job.
That was no wounds.
And then Cyclic Arm Blast into the Sagittarium Guard. 3s. Oh dear. 2 at -2, 1 damage.
2 4-ups. Make one, fail one. Surge takes a wound. Any other shooting, Jamie?
Just some Vespids.
Just some Vespids.
Before I shoot myself.
It's not been the best dice rolling for Jamie. Alright, Vespid, into the Wardens. They could spike though, come on, for the fans. Think of all those Tau fans who love Vespid. There's not many hits. We're ending on
that's
fours.
2 wounds.
2 wounds at AP3, right?
Yeah.
Oh, could kill one.
Don't.
You don't.
GG.
That is not ideal. Okay, we'll tot up the scores for the turn, and then we'll come back with a recap. Hello everyone, and welcome to the post-game debrief. As you can see, the score is obviously flashing up there. Not the closest game in terms of points, but as I said at the start, when you're playing into Tau, you have to be so aware of the shooting. It always sets you on edge for a bit anyway. Have you managed to work out how you could have, well, what could have been done apart from roll better?
Yeah, I could have done a lot more of the rolling better, and it gets some of them weighted dice.
Yeah, definitely. Rumour has it they're quite good.
But no, I don't feel like there was anything positionally I've done too bad. Maybe the Crute Hounds out at the start, if I'd have kept them back to screen off the broadsides better, but you know, in the end, you know, there might have been a mistake here on positioning the characters and leaving you a nice little channel through my crisis to get to them. But
I mean, I guess that didn't kill anything, did it?
No, it didn't make a big difference in the grand scheme of things. It's just the, you know, not wiping out key units a couple of times, leaving units left with one model.
I think that's it. I think the matchup is so close. I think if Tau can put on a good Alpha Strike, we were saying how if you'd gone first, you'd have put such board pressure on early on, and I'd have had to deal with that and clear up all the stuff whilst you were shooting into me, and then I'd have come to you a lot later. So in this case, it wouldn't necessarily been the output and the damage, it just would have been the board presence and stopping my scoring. So me going first was actually a big deal, even though we didn't realise it until
the game started.
Until my first turn, and we're like, oh, wait a minute. So yeah, the matchup is very much on a knife edge, and you're seeing that in the results at the moment. I've played into Tau a few times against Jamie. I've played in tournaments. I've won games where I've smashed the Tau. I've had games where I've been smashed by the Tau. So yeah, it can just go based off of a few factors, really. Any key standout moment or an MVP or?
I mean, the Crute survived until the end on the objective, so well done them for hiding.
Absolute heroes. Get some Crute in your list, Tau players.
True to the fluff, they hid the whole game. But no, you know, Shadow Sun I think is key in the list, giving those broadsides rerolls to hit. If you're not able to roll 4-ups consistently, then she is very helpful in there. But yeah, no, I enjoy how the army plays. It's just, I mean, the 2 practice games I've had of it so far have been against Custodes and Harlequins, both of which are turning off rerolls and -1 to hit. So they're super tough armies to face with it. But you know, they're just getting more reps in, and hopefully I'll be there by the time tournament comes around.
Absolutely. So yeah, this battle report will be out by the time of the team tournament. So if you see it and then see us at the event, come say hi. Come say hi to us whenever you like, because we're friendly, aren't we, Jamie?
We are indeed.
Rumour has it. So yeah, thanks a lot for joining us. If you did enjoy, give us a like and subscribe. Everyone says it, but you know, please do it. So thanks a lot. See you next time.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Bye.
Take care.